Let's talk about something that sounds dystopian, but is absolutely real. The US government can legally create and distribute propaganda to its own citizens. For decades, a legal barrier prevented this. That wall is now gone. The idea of a democratic government using propaganda on its own people seems to contradict the principles of a free society. We often think of propaganda as something from authoritarian regimes, but now, the same persuasive tools once reserved for foreign audiences are being used at home. This shift didn't happen with fanfare. It was quietly slipped into law. When the government becomes a media producer for its own citizens, it blurs the line between informing and influencing. This isn't about public service announcements. It's about subtle, pervasive influence delivered through the channels we trust. Understanding how and why this happened is crucial. In an age of information overload, knowing the source and motive behind what we see is an act of self-preservation. Let's look at how this legal change came to be. To understand what changed, we need to go back to 1948. After World War II, the US passed the Smith-Mundt Act, allowing the government to promote American values abroad, but not at home. Lawmakers, wary of propaganda's power, included a ban on showing these materials to Americans. This legal firewall protected the domestic information environment for over 60 years. The principle was simple. The government could influence foreign audiences, but not its own people. Agencies like Voice of America operated under strict rules. Their content was for export only. The Smith-Mundt Act recognized the danger of government-controlled narratives at home and drew a clear line. But that promise didn't last forever. It was quietly undone by a law with a deceptively simple name. Everything changed in 2012. Hidden in the National Defense Authorization Act was the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, which repealed the domestic dissemination ban. The justification? In the Internet age, Americans could already access this content online, so the ban was obsolete. Now, agencies like the State Department and US Agency for Global Media can legally distribute their foreign-facing content within the US. The distinction between creating for foreign audiences and distributing to Americans is now paper-thin. A documentary made for viewers in Russia can be aired on American TV or go viral on social media. The law says content can't be made solely for domestic audiences, but that's a loophole, not a safeguard. The agencies tasked with influencing foreign opinion now have a legal pathway to shape domestic debate. The firewall is gone, and the government's role in our information ecosystem has fundamentally changed. So what does this look like in practice? Since 2012, the line between foreign and domestic messaging has blurred. Agencies like USAGM and Voice of America now produce content that can be broadcast or shared in the US. A State Department video about a foreign conflict can end up on your local news or in your social media feed. Government-run social media campaigns designed to counter foreign disinformation are now seen by millions of Americans. Contractors and PR firms funded by the government create content that doesn't always carry a government label. This proxy system makes it hard to spot the source. Modern propaganda isn't obvious. It's a slick TikTok, a viral infographic, or an expert interview funded by government grants. The content blends in, making it persuasive precisely because it doesn't feel like propaganda. The result? The government now has a powerful legal tool to shape public opinion from the inside out. Most people don't even realize it's happening. So what does this mean for us? This legal change shifts the balance of power in a democracy. A government that can shape public opinion is less accountable to the people. The risk is subtlety. Propaganda now looks like any other content, making it nearly invisible. We're all vulnerable to confirmation bias, especially when information comes from sources we trust. This erodes trust in media and government, leaving us divided and easier to manipulate. The best defense? Be a critical, discerning consumer of media. Ask who made this? What's their motive? Who benefits? Demand transparency and hold both media and government accountable. Staying informed is an active responsibility. Our freedom depends on it.